Forgotten worlds they erased. What if entire worlds once existed and were deliberately erased from history? Not destroyed by natural disasters, not lost to time, but removed, edited out, as if they were never meant to be remembered. History, as we know it, feels complete, structured, logical. Civilizations rise, peak, and fall. But this narrative depends on one assumption, that what we've been given is the full story. And yet, scattered across the world, there are fragments that don't quite fit ruins with no clear origin, maps showing lands that shouldn't exist, and technologies that appear far too advanced for their time. Take ancient maps. Some of them depict coastlines that were officially discovered centuries later. Others show entire land masses that no longer exist. These weren't artistic guesses, they were detailed, measured, and consistent across different cultures. The question isn't just how they were made, the question is, what were they copying? Then there are structures massive, precise, and often impossible to recreate even today. Stone blocks weighing hundreds of tons fitted together with such accuracy that not even a blade can slide between them. Mainstream explanations tell us these were built with primitive tools over long periods of time. But that explanation leaves something out. Why do so many of these sites appear suddenly, fully developed, with no trace of gradual evolution? It's as if they were inherited. Across different continents, we see repeating patterns, similar architectural styles, identical symbolic systems, shared myths of a lost golden age. Civilizations that supposedly had no contact describe the same events: a great flood, a fall from knowledge, a time when humans lived differently, not just culturally, but technologically. Some researchers suggest that before recorded history, there may have been an advanced global civilization. Not in the way we imagine today with computers and satellites, but advanced in ways we don't fully understand. A civilization aligned with natural cycles, geometry, and energy systems we've only begun to rediscover. And then, something happened. Around 12,000 years ago, at the end of the last ice age, there was a sudden shift, massive climate changes, rapid extinctions, entire regions becoming uninhabitable. Officially, this marks the beginning of modern civilization. But what if it also marks the end of something else? Because after this point, the pattern changes. Knowledge becomes fragmented. Writing systems appear, but they seem to preserve something older. Myths become the only record of what came before. And over time, those myths are reinterpreted, simplified, or dismissed entirely. But here's the part that raises deeper questions. Why do so many of these forgotten worlds only exist in pieces? Artifacts without context, structures without builders, stories without clear origins. It's not just that we don't have the full picture, it's that the picture itself looks edited. History is not just a record of events, it's a system of selection. What gets preserved, what gets taught, and what gets ignored. Entire civilizations can disappear not only through destruction, but through absence of recognition. If something isn't documented, studied, or accepted, it effectively never existed. And this has happened before. We know that libraries have burned, that empires have rewritten records, that knowledge has been lost intentionally and unintentionally. The destruction of ancient texts wasn't just collateral damage, it was often systematic, because controlling the past means controlling how the present is understood. Now imagine applying that idea on a much larger scale. Not just rewriting a dynasty or a nation, but reshaping the entire timeline of human history, compressing it, simplifying it, removing anything that doesn't fit the model. What would be left? A version of history that feels coherent but incomplete. Today, we rely on systems that define what is real and what is not. Academic consensus, archaeological interpretation, institutional approval. These systems are necessary, but they are also limited. They can only work with what is accepted, and they often reject what doesn't fit established frameworks. So when something anomalous appears, something that challenges the timeline, it is often dismissed, not because it's proven false, but because it's inconvenient. And yet, the anomalies remain. Buried cities, unexplained artifacts, maps that shouldn't exist, stories that refuse to disappear. They exist at the edges of history, quietly suggesting that what we know might only be a fraction of what once was. Maybe there were worlds before ours, not mythical in the sense of fantasy, but real, physical, and advanced in their own way. Worlds that rose, flourished, and were ultimately lost not just to catastrophe, but to forgetting. It's to make sure no one remembers it ever existed.